It is now 5:34. We're going to call the Committee of Whole to order for November 25th, 2024. At this time, we will start with roll call. I'm just going to go with who's present here. Alderman Tolley.
Here.
Alderman Barron.
Here.
Alderwoman Johnson.
Here.
Alderman Jones.
Present.
Alderman Marzak.
Present.
Okay, we have 5 present, 9 absent, so we do not have a quorum. Just going to take notes real quick. All right. Is there any public comments at this point? Seeing none. You have the minutes before you for October 28th, 2024. Those were also emailed out to you today from David. Because we do not have a quorum, we will not approve these tonight, but take a look at them, and if you have any questions, changes, additions that need to be brought to us, we can make those adjustments before our next. I do not know if we will have another committee of the whole meeting, but we could always approve these at a city council meeting, so.
Why don't we do that? Yeah.
The plan here tonight is, as everyone knows, we have to have the money officially allocated by December 31st, so we're getting close. We're a little over 5 weeks out from that. Our goal tonight is, I'm going to go over where we're at as of allocations and where we're at with looking for some recommendations. We will then bring this to city budget, which will be, council is on December 2nd. City budget will be, budget committee will be December 9th. We'd like to bring this for final comments on December 9th. If there's any suggestions or changes, we will then bring, if any, well, there will be at least one recommendation for the final money, to the city council on Monday, December 16th, officially approve it, and that's what we will enter into the system. So, if everybody's okay with that process. So we'll still have one more meeting at budget where we can make some comments and concerns, and then we will definitely have to get on the city council agenda for the 16th. We don't want to call a special meeting before Christmas, so.
Right.
So as I said, I don't know we'll have another committee of the whole meeting for ARPA like we've had for the last 3 years, but we can always approve the minutes at a different meeting, so. I handed out to you 2 different sheets. The multi-stapled one that you have. Mm-hmm. That is all of the projects from the very first one we did in 2021 to the last 4 that we did. You'll see under project number, we have 2 to be determined. I didn't assign it a project number yet because the comptroller's office hasn't got one, but I'm sure it'll be 2024-6, 7, 8, and 9, keeping pace. But I wanted to put, these are all the numbers that are put together there for you, of everything that we have allocated to date. The last page is really the one that maybe makes some sense, the color page that you have here. And this is the one that City Manager Kubal has been presenting to you for the last couple months. What we do need to do is show up. If you look roughly there, and this does not even count the recent numbers that we just did here, but as you see, we've got anything in pink means we have spent more money than was allocated. So we do have to shore those up. But what it basically you have there in front of you is we received $15,052,449 in ARPA allocation. We have allocated $15,646,319, leaving $593,870.09 that needs to be trued up, or I'm sorry, that leaves that we can't use of remaining money. And if you also look over to the far right, you'll see the what we need to true up. When you add all that together, when it's all said and done, that comes up to $1,024,491. And what it basically projects out to, that we have a grand total of $430,620.92 that will remain available to allocate one last time.
Yeah.
It's not much, it's a lot, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, $430,000, but it's not much. So, That did accomplish, as I said, it's not on this sheet, but the last 4 rounds you saw there, we did 20,000 to Fortitude, 50,000 to Harbor House, 50,000 to Land Bank, and 275,000 for gun violence prevention. The thought in talking with the city manager, unless there's other changes tonight that you have or where you want to see, is that $430,620.92 we would allocate to City of Kankakee hydroelectric plant.
Yeah.
And the reason we were doing that behind it was, as you know, we've got $1 million allocated to the hydro plant. It'll be about a $3 million renovation when it's all said and done. I'm hoping less than 3, but we're projecting it could be that much. But that is a project that will generate money for the ESU significantly. I can even tell you, like Karma right now is asking how quick can that thing get online, as we're seeing electric rates go through the roof, and we're even seeing, projecting that they're going to go much higher next summer. But in talking, we would add City of Kankakee on there in case there's something that we need to go a different direction with, but that's why we want to add City of Kankakee to that, so. Is there any questions or comments or directions that you would like to see this to head?
I would think that would be the best use of whatever funds are left.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that.
What we would bring to you, again, we'll talk about this again at the Budget Committee, but what we would bring to you on the 16th is one final amendment to the ARPA that trues up all these numbers in the pink and gets them correct, trues up all allocations, and basically finalizes that last piece of to the penny of money for the hydro plant. We talked about the hydro plant, we talked about this sewer basin system. Be quite frank, we're already into the hydro plant. We're doing basin 9 already with the sewer, but we just figured let's take it to the hydro, at least that's a revenue generating stream that we can put that money towards. And then when it comes time to do the manhole repair and the sewer lining for basin 9, we'll come back and figure that out with hopefully capital within the ESU. Or again, if hydro's up and running, hydro will generate money to the tune of $300,000 to $400,000 to ESU, and we can use some of that money towards sewer lining and manhole repair. Alderman Marzak.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it projected that, less than a year out, we'd be generating, the hydro would be generating possibly 1, maybe 2 generators?
We hope to be generating power next spring.
When?
Next spring, when the river's high, is ideal time for it. We have got it set up now that we can generate, we basically could, once we get with Karma, make sure that we send the power safely down to their plant. We could generate right now with the 3rd turbine. The reason we're not doing it is the pump's got to be finalized, and the second piece is the river's low right now, it's just not a good time to be doing that. But our goal is that come April, that we will start generating with that 3rd turbine, and we hope by midsummer that we will put in turbine 1 and 2, and then pole number 3 next summer, and we'll have 2 turbines to run off of until turbine 3 takes a year to get fixed, rehabbed, and then put back in, and we hope by the spring or summer of '26 that the plant would be fully operational. But we do believe we can start generating some revenue next spring. Nowhere near the $300,000 to $400,000, but if we could even generate $50,000 to $75,000, that'd be something.
Everything counts.
So, can't take any action, but any desire from this committee here of a different path or different direction? And if there is, bring it to budget and we'll go from there, but this is the direction that we'll head, and we'll bring a final sheet to budget for review.
Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and move it to budget, and we'll deal with it at the budget meeting.
All right. Just doesn't really have to do with this meeting, but Monday night will be city council. It'll be a fairly light agenda. The 16th will be a very, very busy agenda. So enjoy Monday night, and then we'll be a long.
We'll make up for it.
We'll make up for it on the 16th, so. All right. Alderman Barron.
Mayor, once we're out of the allocation period and then we have the 2 years to spend this, do you expect that would just be kind of managed by the comptroller's office where, we now have to spend down to those exact dollar figures or, maybe if not, but then we'd have to give back if we don't
Right.
use it. Do you think that'll just be managed by the comptroller?
Yes, it would just be done internally based on what is approved here. And we're already starting to do that. We're trying to close out with Ascension St. Mary. We're trying, even the land bank, we just got an invoice from them. I told invoice quickly. I said, we're at the point now that it's just much easier to start allocating these dollars out as much as possible. We'd like to get as many zeros in '25 across the board as much as possible, and then just work on probably a lot of the internal ones that we have that we'll continue to spend down as needed, so. We'll continue to give probably just quarterly updates. What we'll do is we'll try to bring, we can put in a city council packet is maybe every quarter in '25 and '26, we can bring this packet that shows what was allocated and what has been spent through a particular date, and then what the remaining balance is, so you can keep track of it as we're going along. That should be fairly easy to do. And maybe we'll tie that into, I think ideally, if we could do it, when we have to report every quarter, it's 30 days after, so I'll give a good example, will be, what we could do is January 31st, the manager, our city manager has to update everything and upload it, so I would say that meeting after, like the first meeting in February, we could bring this sheet of where we're at, and if we could just do it 30 days after each quarter, that'd be ideal. That way she doesn't have to do double work, she'll have it all in the system, and she can just upload it, what she put in the system. That process is very intensive when she has to do that. That kills a day for her, believe it or not. It takes probably about 4 to 6 hours of her being uninterrupted to upload that system each time. All right. Any questions? We'll keep it short. It is 5:46.
Mayor, quick question.
Oh, yeah, Alderman Jones?
Thank you, Mayor. I was over with Wade last week, I believe you was out of town, and he's talking about the $200,000 for some more, cameras. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
The grant?
Yes, we received a LPR grant from Senator Joyce.
Okay,
For what is basically, they have to be used for like LPRs, license plate readers.
yes,
Yes, and the comptroller's office is working through that process.
okay.
Of getting it. We're going to talk about it, I mean, there's a lot of, we have a lot of grants in the city, and so one of the things that we'll probably talk about for the next fiscal year is some type of grant administrator. We're spending, a lot of department heads are spending a lot of time administrating grants, and it's very difficult right now. I mean, we've got that outsourcing grant team and all, but they don't do all the day-to-day stuff that's needed out there.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. I thought we had that grant.
I'll give a good example. We've got a JAG grant that we have with the police department. We've got our assistant comptroller that was spending hours. When I say hours, like 12 to 15 hours for an $18,000 grant. Just because you got to get on the phone, you got to call, you're on for 45 minutes, you get all the answers you need, you hang up, then you go to the next round, you got to get on with somebody else. It's hours. It's labor intensive. So we just finished the grant that we received for Hobby Avenue. We got that done. There was another grant that was just worked on. We're working on the TIF reports now, and then that LPR is the next one to work on.
Okay, Mayor, are we going to, so what are we going to do? Are we going to still keep both? I mean, I know I'm not asking for an
The
answer.
LPRs will be added to the existing cameras that
No,
are.
I was talking about the grant writing situation. Are you trying to keep both, or what are we?
Yeah, if you look, we still have, let me find it here. It's something that we'll bring and talk to budget,
Okay.
to see if that's what direction council wants to go, but I'm trying to find where,
We definitely don't want to miss no money, to be honest with you.
didn't we have it allocated through here?
I thought we did, to Barbie's team, right?
The first 500,000 was for, Barbie's,
Yeah, that's what we're paying for the firms right now, but I've been talking to Barbie about that, and it's just, really, it's, getting the grants is one thing, it's administering the grants. It's
Okay.
very, very labor intensive, and is that something we want our police chief and deputy chief doing? Not necessarily. Is it something you want your director of ECDA, your executive director doing? Is it something that you want, just a lot of work for your department heads, so. So we have a plan that we'll be bringing to you in the spring.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry. Once we get into 2025 and our money is supposed to be allocated, and I'm just thinking like the Eagle and River project, we allocated $219,000 and some change to it. If it doesn't come into that, but we've already allocated that much money, if it comes in lower, do we reallocate?
That's what we're doing with this sheet here. We're reallocating all based on that number there, so.
Okay, but it's okay if they don't bill us until the beginning of next year or something? Because
Yeah.
they're still working on it now.
Yeah, it can be, you can pay for this anywhere. The allocation doesn't mean it has to be spent. It just has to be earmarked for that project.
And then if it comes in lower, then can we reallocate?
We would have, if it comes in, I see what you're saying. We'll have that hard number is what we'll have. If it comes in, it's not going to come in lower.
Right, well, that's what I thought too,
Oh.
but I was just using that one as an
I'm
example.
not of anything sure that would come in lower, but if it does,
Like if it came
you
in.
can always do more
5,000
curbs over there,
What? Oh, we need a curb, yeah,
so.
okay. So we can use,
There isn't anything that I'm really worried about coming in under.
okay.
If you see something, though, let me know. All good?
Yep.
Okay,
Public, one more thing, public safety is next Tuesday night.
yes,
And yours truly would be chairing.
yep, you're in charge. So it's now 5:51. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
You got Johnson and second from Marzak. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.